Hi, in today's lesson, we're going to go over some job costing functionalities within QuickBooks. Now, job costing is basically keeping track of the monies that you make versus the money that you spend per job. So that way you know if your jobs are profitable or not. Now, the first thing that we're going to start with is normally creating your invoice. However, when you create an invoice for a customer, because you're billing them for that job, the income is already there, so you don't have to job cost that income. But what you do have to job cost are your expenses. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to create an expense or enter a bill from a vendor, job costing it out to that vendor or to that job. First thing you're going to do is hit enter bills, and we're going to go ahead and create a bill. I'm going to say we rented some equipment from Brown Equipment Rental. And then, of course, mine is going to be for a future date because this is a sample file for you guys to look at. But you would put whatever date the invoice is from. Again, depending on what you put in your reference number, I usually put invoice number within the reference number field and the amount. And then your due date, whatever memo. Alright, now, there's two ways that you can create an expense towards a job. You can either do it by item, if you have inventory items, or if you want to keep track of a certain amount of items that you use, or if you want to be more detailed, you can use items. You can also use expenses if it's just a general expense. So for this, we're going to use expenses. And actually, I'll use both items and expenses so you can see how they are used. So we're going to go here to job expenses, and we're going to say that we rented a Bobcat for $4,500. And we're going to put it towards DJ's computers. That's the job that we used it for. And then in items, we can come in here and select whatever item it is that you wish. And it can be any item that you want, however you have it created. And we're going to say concrete. And if it's associated with an income account, you don't want to use it, just for the simple fact that it's going to mess up your reporting. And there's another tutorial exactly how to create items in QuickBooks to where it's a double-sided item, which means it goes to both expense and income. That's another tutorial, so please check that out when you get the opportunity. But we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to create a plant item or plant. It's an ornamental. We're going to say that we have 5 of them, and the cost is $100. And again, we're going to do this to DJ Computers. And there you go. That's how you job cost an invoice. Pretty simple, correct? I mean, all you have to do is put in the account, the amount, whatever memo, and the only difference between entering a regular bill and a job costing bill is, of course, selecting the customer's job that you want it to go to. And the same thing for the items. It's just like creating an invoice with the regular items, but you're just going to add the customer's job. And you're going to save and close. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write a check. Let's just say that you have a check that you wanted to write or you wrote and you didn't have an invoice for it. We're going to write a check. And we're going to job cost this check out. And we're going to say our checks for, permits or whatever it is that you feel like you need, or whatever it is that you want to put in the memo line. And we're going to select our account. We're going to select professional fees for the permits. Again, you can say it's a building permit. And then you're going to want to select what job it's for. And the same thing, if you wanted to create an item, a check for items, you could select that here. And just select, again, what job it's for. And we're going to hit Save and Close. And that's how you enter a vendor's bill and job cost it. And that's how you write a check and you job cost that out. Now, if you want to job cost an employee's hours or their payroll, or even a vendor, or shall I say subcontractor's time on a job, you can do so as well. So that way your labor expenses are also job costed. And the way that you would do that is you would click on Employees, enter time, and use Weekly Timesheet. And again, you can select an employee or you can select vendors. We're going to hit an employee, Duncan Fisher. And we're going to basically enter his time for that week for each job that he was on, because again, this sample file is for a landscape company, so he was on multiple jobs throughout the week. So we're going to select which jobs he was on. And if you want to put notes here, you can. Then you would cost his hours out for that particular job, and then you would hit the next line and you would job cost this as well. So whatever his hours were for the week. And he worked 5.5 hours on this day and 2.5 hours on this day and 3 hours here. And again, you can list as many jobs as you want in here. And this is job cost their hours. When you're done, you would save it and you would close it. If you just want to do one particular day, you can hit enter time, enter single activity. And in here you can just put the day. Now if you're doing a vendor or a subcontractor, you would just select their name and do the same thing. But we're going to pay an employee. And this is if you want to time them, if you want to stop the time. Again, this is for a single entry. You can put how many hours. If you know they did 12 hours that day, put their their notes in there. And then you would save and close. And again, their hours are job costed. So basically what will happen is when you go in there to create their payroll check, on their payroll check you'll have a breakdown of how many hours they worked and for which jobs. Now, that's how you would job cost, basic job costing anyways, within QuickBooks. If you want to know how to run the job costing reports, please see my other tutorial. Remember to subscribe to our channel for all new updates. And also let your friends know about our channel that you feel may need some help as well in the bookkeeping accounting aspect. Thank you, and please visit us again.